Baby, you taste like home, but I swear you always done in my grove. You're so hot and cold.
Alright, so I'm sitting here with my man Dylan Reese, originally from Chicopee, Massachusetts. Seemed like a few years ago you moved out to California, got some stuff popping with your music. You were dropping a lot of music. I checked out your Spotify discography, and there's songs for days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like that helped. Did that help a lot?
Yeah, so for like 2 years, I dropped a song every 10 days, and that's when you started to see everything kind of bubble, because I realized, like, content is king, basically, you know, and it's like, especially now, that's kind of like a cliche thing to say because everyone kind of caught on to it. But 3 years ago, there wasn't a lot of people dropping music that much. So I am my own engineer. I record all my own stuff. I write all my own stuff. And I make everything basically in my house. So I was like, I'm in a position where I'm capable of making a ton of music. So I'm just going to drop all of it and just see what happens and not really have an ego about it or not really hold anything too near and dear to my heart.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, some did really well, some did absolutely nothing, just totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you kind of just see, like, what people want to hear from you or what they don't, or in between, too, you know?
I feel like also, I know, I heard you say something which I really enjoyed. You said you never want to make the exact song twice.
Right.
You don't want to, put out a song, have people be like, well, I expected to hear that from him. And that you really take account into, like, evolving your sound as an artist. And I just want to know, like, in the studio or just, like, writing in general, like, how do you do that? How do you push yourself to try different things? Or what are some of the methods that you kind of go into your sessions to try that?
Yeah, first off, where did you hear me say that? Because
I was just digging through interviews on YouTube, man.
I don't even remember saying that, but it sounds like something I would say.
Yeah.
Whether I was lying or not, I don't know.
It's all good. It's all good.
But, yeah, no, I mean, I just, especially during that time, like 2016, 2017, I tried to just experiment as much as I can and not be afraid to, like, make something that I wasn't going to like, even if it was the next day, you know?
I feel you.
And just see, like, what was going to work for me. So I just tried to make a bunch of different stuff. And within that, I kind of picked my spots, and I kind of know what I want to do now and, like, what I want to represent moving forward sonically and, like, the message behind the songs and everything, you know. But I don't know. I think it was just a lot of trial and error. I mean, I've been doing this forever, so it's almost 10 years at this point. So I've got hundreds of songs, and probably 80% of them I'm not proud of at this point. But everything I've made in the past year or two, I'm definitely proud of, and that's, like, I don't know. It took me a while to get to there.
I feel you. Definitely. Yeah. Lots of consistency, like shots in the gym, right? Shots in the gym. Yeah. So one thing that I know right now you're on tour, and I imagine that touring probably gives you the chance to connect with a lot of people in cities that your music reaches, and it probably makes you be able to visibly see and feel like the actual depth and the impact of your music. So I was just wondering if you had any experiences, whether it's memories or just being on stage, any like time where you had to step back and be like, wow, like started off rapping over instrumentals on YouTube with a cheap mic with my friends, and now I'm out here like touring the country. If there's any moments that you kind of remember, just any types of feelings you've had about that.
Yeah, I mean, not to be like a cheese ball, but it's like every day. It's like a constant reminder, like when you get on stage. I mean, in this case, I'm opening for the Hold Up, and they're amazing. Mike's music is amazing. He's been touring for so long, and he's like giving me a real look right now. So all the touring I've done up until now has been super like DIY, and we just kind of book anything we can do and just go see what happens. And that's resulted in a lot of great shows, but also a lot of bad shows where, well, not bad in terms of it wasn't fun, but, 15 people come because we're in the middle of nowhere. We've never been there. We're in Omaha or Idaho or somewhere, and it's like, okay, what's going on? And there's 10 people, and we're like, damn, it's just kind of like an ego check, as opposed to you're in, Massachusetts, where I'm from, or New York, or LA, somewhere I know a lot of people, and it's like, 150, 200 kids ready to party, you know? So it's a lot of ups and downs with touring, and on this run especially, like I was saying, since I'm in front of a crowd every night, 80% of those people probably don't know who I am. Yeah. So it's a real blessing and opportunity to get to reach new ears and eyes and prove myself and show people what I'm doing. So even the other night in Omaha, there was like almost 600 kids, and I had like a moment, like even on stage and off stage, it was like super emotional. I was like, damn, yo, I used to do this and no one cared, and like I turned that crowd up and like converted everybody there. Like we were selling crazy merch from people that never heard my name before they walked in the door, and like it was dope.
Amazing feeling.
That's literally why I do this.
I feel
you know, like that's the whole point. I don't care about, I mean, I care about everything, every part of it, but that's like the most important.
Keeps you coming back, right?
Totally.
So
it's like a drug almost.
I can definitely relate to that. So I have a question for you. I know you used to play sports. I'm not going to dive too deep into the history of that story, but I was also an athlete, and I have a question from that standpoint. Do you feel like any of the lessons you learned from playing sports, whether that
100%.
was like,
go. Not to cut you off.
No, you're good, because I'm an athlete, so I want to get your point on that. You know what I mean? Did that help you push through some of those hard times in the beginning when people weren't catching on?
For sure. Especially in my case, because I was a basketball player. I played basketball in college at Regis College. It's like a Division III school. It's not a big deal. I'm not like, I wasn't like NBA bound, but I was a baller, and I was like playing basketball every single day, training every day to be as good as I could. I'm 5'6". I'm not that fast.
I feel you.
I'm white. That's not a good spot if you want to be a college basketball player.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of just internal and external obstacles I had to get through, and just playing basketball my entire life taught me perseverance and just sticking to something even if you just keep failing, you know?
Yeah.
So I was that dude, like, after school every day. I'm to the gym. I'm to the court. I'm drilling myself to death by myself, whether someone's watching or not.
Yeah.
So that's, like, the same kind of things that I've applied to music, or at least tried to, is just to, like, outwork everybody. And then eventually the results are going to come, even if it's 10 years or 20 years or 3 seconds, you know.
I feel you.
The results are going to pay off one way or another.
I feel like it's definitely starting to show.
Thank you.
In this project, I've been listening to it, Morning Coffee. You dropped that back in September, and I would tell people, like, the weather right now, I feel like the weather gives you a vibe, and I feel like the weather change, everything's starting to get warm. That's perfect riding music right now.
I can dig it.
And Morning Coffee is actually one of my favorite tracks off of that project, because I'm addicted to caffeine. Like, I have to drink it every morning.
Me too.
And I think the writing in that song is brilliant. The way you're, like, really drawing metaphors between, like, the dependency you can have on something like that and the comfort it can give you to a relationship or a person.
Yep.
So I kind of just wanted to, like, dig a little bit deeper into that and pick your brain about, like, how that song came about, the whole process.
Yeah, I actually had a conversation with someone in St. Louis after a show, and he said kind of the same thing. He was like, yo, how did you make up, like, because he's a rapper too. He was like, I just got so much inspiration from that, because it was such like the metaphor went full circle throughout the whole song. It wasn't like, you know, usually a metaphor is just like a line. It's like, oh, okay, I understand, and then you move on. But it was the whole entire record is one big comparison.
For sure.
So that's literally what it was when I moved to L.A. Before I moved to L.A., I was back in Massachusetts. I lived at my mom's house after college, just figuring out what I'm going to do. Making music all day. I was mixing a bunch of music for a bunch of people, and just hustling, but not necessarily have like a specific vision.
I feel you.
And I was never a morning guy. I was always like, okay, I don't have a normal job, so I can wake up at 10, 11 o'clock, start my day, whatever. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I get the same amount of sleep as everybody else. My clock's just pushed back
a little bit.
3 hours, you know.
I feel you.
You guys can come through.
Yeah, you're good.
So yeah, basically my clock was just pushed back, and I wasn't living like a
normal hours.
I don't know if it was normal or not, but it was just different from what it is now. Once I moved to LA, for whatever reason, I started waking up hella early, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock every day, just like clockwork, and I couldn't do anything without coffee.
I feel you.
I never was a coffee drinker before that, and I was like, this is so weird. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how the album came and how that song came, and it was just, I thought it was just a cool metaphor to make it into like you said, the dependency and the relationship you can have with someone, and also a something at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
No, the writing in that was great. I really, really
Thank you very
that
much.
track. And the project is great. Everybody definitely needs to go check that out. I have a couple questions. So, are you coming back through this side of the country anytime when it's summertime?
I hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on being on tour as much as I can, because I think that's my live show is good and it's super fun, and it's always helping me reach new people.
I feel you.
So I think that's something I need to like really hammer home the next few years and just stay on the road as much as I can.
Well, we're definitely keeping our eyes out for you.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm in talks with some people. I'm definitely want to be in the road in the summer or the fall, and I don't know. Sometimes it's weird because people are like, why don't you come here? Why don't you come there? 90% of the time, it's not up to me.
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
See,
like, especially this tour, like I got thrown on it last second, this was already booked. Tickets were already on sale.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yo, you should come with us. So I'm like, bet. I'm just going where I'm going.
I feel you. I'm not gonna lie, I was hyped because I started following your music and I followed you on Instagram, and then I saw you randomly post this flyer like not that long ago. And then I looked and saw you had a Vienna date. I was like, that's an hour from where I live. I'm definitely trying to go out there and see what this is about. So super excited to have you out here, man. Well, we're about to go watch Dylan kill it and shut the stage down tonight. I want you to tell people where they can find you, wherever your content is, whatever you're trying to push right now. Tell people where they can go find that.
Yeah, my main thing right now is Spotify, Apple, anywhere you listen to music. My name is Dylan Reese, DYLANREESE, and then on my social media is Dylan Reese Music. Should be very easy to find me.
He made it simple for you guys.
Just look for my hair. You'll see me.
Definitely. Go check him out, man. Dylan, thank you. We appreciate you, man. We're excited to go see you tonight, all right?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, peace.
Waking up without you, the more often I have it, the happier I found you. I'm shaking when I don't got it, now I'm jittery. Your touch is like a narcotic, I can barely breathe. I need it like I'm robotic, it's like I depend on you for sanity. Just a little shot of your flavor, aftertaste on my lips, I savor you. Through my day, I'm still tasting you. If I don't, I won't make it through. Pour me a cup of your love.
I'm fucking with you guys. Make some noise for yourself, man.